Hey guys, coming to you with another video. This is the weekend preview of the PBC card taking place on Fox on Saturday, January 30th. And really, I'm only going to talk about the main event because the undercard is so, there's not really much going on. No big name fighters, nothing really worth talking about right now. It's really just the main event that looks good. And the main event's going to see the undefeated IBF super middleweight champion Caleb Plant defending his title against Caleb Truax. I believe this is a mandatory title fight. Truax, the former champion, is the highest rated contender in the IBF, which is third. So I think the IBF is going to count this as a mandatory. And it's a big fight for Caleb Plant. You know, it could mirror, but probably wouldn't take over as his biggest career win. But it's up there. And good to get a win against a guy like Caleb Plant, who's still a top 10 guy. Caleb Truax, who's still a top 10 fighter. And this fight really is going to lead most likely to a Canelo fight. Canelo, his plans are to become undisputed at 168, win all 4 world titles. The only way he can do that is by beating the other champions, and Caleb Plant currently holds one of the 2 belts that Canelo doesn't have. Now, Canelo's pretty much laid out his next 2 fights. Avni Yildirim at the end of February, and then most likely Billy Joe Saunders to unify belts in May, and Billy Joe Saunders holds the WBO belt. So after that fight, if Canelo's still the unified champ, which everybody expects him to be, there's only the winner of this fight standing in his way, and that would likely take place in September on Mexican Independence Day weekend. So a lot of things circling this fight right here, but Canelo being the big target is huge, because I don't think whoever wins this fight, I don't think they fight again until September, until they get Canelo. And I think the winner is going to get Canelo. I really do. There are other possibilities, David Benavidez, whatever, but I really think the winner of this fight is fighting Canelo in September. Caleb Plant is, we already know what we already know about Caleb Truax. He's a former champ. He was a stepping stone fighter, a gatekeeper for the longest time. And then in, a couple years ago, 2017, he scored the upset of the year and beat James DeGale to capture his first world title. Then he lost the belt back to get DeGale in their rematch, but it was a very good fight and close fight. But, ever since then, he's been trying to get back in title contention. Injuries have kind of hurt him on that, on both sides, his opponent's injuries and his own. And, now he's got the opportunity, another crack at a world title, and I really think it's make or break time for Caleb Truax. I think he's going to come in. He knows the role of playing the underdog, so that does work to his favor. But, I think he's going to try as best he can. He might make a fight out of it early, but I really think Caleb Plant is going to dominate the action in this one. Plant, I think, to sell a pay-per-view fight against Canelo in September, which I think it would be, Caleb Plant fights for the PBC. Canelo is contractually obligated to fight his next 2 fights on DAZN, but his fight in September is up in the air, and I think it's very likely he would sign on to fight Plant on Showtime pay-per-view, and that fight would take place in September, and Canelo's trying to get as many pay-per-view buys as he can because Plant's not a huge name. So if Plant comes into this one and dominates Caleb Truax, that's just going to get more people to tune in for the fight if they fight in September. So I think Plant's going to come out. I think he's going to box, but I think he's going to aggressively box Truax, who's going to be coming forward and be there to hit. And I think he dominates the action. I think he breaks down Caleb Truax, and I think he stops him towards the end of the middle rounds, more the later rounds. And I think Plant retains his IBF super middleweight title and punches a ticket to Canelo Alvarez in September, but we'll see. So, that's taking place this Saturday, January 30th on Fox. So make sure you're paying attention to that. That should be a good one. Again, the undercard's not much to talk about, but we're probably looking about a 5 or 6 o'clock start time. So make sure you check out Fox this weekend. And that's it. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.